All right, what's up, Tycoon? Super excited for today's video. We're going to be taking a look at LIDAR. Okay, this is AI. This is, basically a LIDAR technology company. And we're looking at a couple reports here. Okay, Business Wire has the AI reports fourth quarter and full year 2021 results. Right, and then AI named by Fast Company as one of world's most innovative companies. Now, this stock specifically kind of follows the whole innovative investment strategy, right? Similar to Kathy Woods, she believes in highly explosive, innovative growth, and the companies behind those that will help see that happen and experience the most gains. This is a company similar to that investment style, so it's much more risky than investing in a index fund, for instance, but the reward potential is much higher. All right. So, you can look through here and read this article if you want, to find out some of the things and reasons why they consider it one of the world's most innovative companies. And you can definitely check out their earnings reports as well. One thing that I do like about them that I want to highlight to you guys is the company ended 2021 with 164 million in cash equivalents, and marketable securities, and is debt free. Okay. I like the debt free part. So they're not really trying to pay off a bunch of debts, and they still could do a share offering, right? But if the stock rallies and rises, has some nice growth, they're not in a bunch of debt where they need to sell shares and have a share offering to try to pay off some of that debt. They're still not profitable, so that's one thing to keep in mind. But you're kind of investing for the future growth, projected growth, and projected earnings and revenue and things like that on companies like these. You can look at their customers and partners and things like that, see what they have going on. We're going to dive straight into the chart, and you're going to want to watch this till the end, okay? Because I do viewer requests every week, and this one was a viewer request because on my last video I showed you guys the opportunity here. Okay, there was 120% chance or possibility of investment on your return, or return on your investment. Okay, and that was basically in my last video. So a lot of people are asking for an update now because it's rallied 110% out of that 120 max percent, right? And the strategy here we're using initially, okay, is known as a gap. Okay, in a lot of my videos I like to chart the gaps, daily gaps on the daily chart, and I like to make them a bright blue box. Okay, and what I recommend everyone doing is creating alert at the bottom and top of these gaps. All right, so that way, even if you're not looking or you forget about a stock, you can know, oh, bing, I just got that alert, this gap is about to fill. You can look to scalp it, right, and see if that momentum continues, or you can look to see if there's going to be a reversal there and things pull back, right? So this is the daily chart again we're looking at, and there's 3 stages to a reversal, everyone. Okay, here we have the downtrend. I gave you guys the box consolidation. I said that this is our consolidation area where if we drop below here we're going lower, and if we break out from here we're going higher. All right, and that's when I showed you guys the 120% possibility of return on your shares, and just by playing the gap, right? Because gaps tend to fill about 90 to 95% of the time. It's just a matter of when. You don't know exactly when they're going to fill, but you know that they are going to fill, right? It's just a matter of when. It could be weeks, it could be months, it could be years. It just depends on the market environment, right? Now, if we look a little bit closer, all right, if you missed this play, I would not FOMO into it, right? It's right around 584. The gap fill up is about 625. So it's not too much, reward necessarily versus what you're risking. There's a lot more downside. I think there is a possibility we could come back down to 5.1/5. Those are going to be the major support levels we need to hold as, essentially support. All right. I'll dive into that a little bit later. But for right now, the reason I'm saying that there could be some pullback, if we zoom in some more, I want to show you guys, we're clearly going on an uptrend here. Okay. We're making a high, higher high, higher high, higher high. The RSI, if we look at our RSI here, all right, we have a high here, a lower high here, and then a lower high here. That's what's known as bearish divergence, and it's an indicator that we may see some bearishness in the future. All right, so what you need to do is prepare yourself for that. Okay, well, hey, if I'm in this play right now, maybe I'll set a stop loss. Okay. Maybe I'll set a minus 5% stop loss, a minus 10% stop loss, whatever you guys are comfortable with. So that way, if things do pull back, right, you can be prepared for it. Or you can use like a mental stop loss and just, pay attention to it at a level where like, okay, hey, well, if we start trading below 5.1 and we start opening and closing below 5.1, I'm going to go ahead and take my profits because I think it's going to go back to the downside and there's a potential it could go back down to $4 to $3.50 to $3, right? So that's one thing that I would definitely watch out for. And we'll go ahead and zoom in and look on a different time frame chart now. We do have a little bit of a cup and handle. Okay, that's kind of what I want to show you guys here. We're going to go ahead to the 4-hour chart now, and we're going to look at the bullish patterns on our 4-hour chart. Okay, if we zoom in to right about here, we'll go ahead and be able to see things nice and clearly. All right, there we go. So we have a nice inverse head and shoulders going on here. Okay, here's our left shoulder, right? Here is our head, and then here is our right shoulder. All right, and now that's if we get a pullback. Okay, because I showed you guys, the bullish the bearish divergence. Okay, we'll go ahead and pull up my 4-hour chart now. And, here's our trend line, our uptrend line. Here's our downtrend line. So, we already saw the drop. We already saw a drop due to this bearish divergence. And if that drop continues, right, 5.05, which is right in between $5 and 5.10, is like, our major support level we need to hold here. And then below that, 432. Now, the reason I say below that 432 is because if we zoom out, it looks like we have a nice cup and handle forming. Okay, here's our cup. Here's our handle. Let me zoom in just a little bit more, see if that's a little clearer for you guys. Okay, but yeah, so here's our cup. Okay, here's our handle. We pulled back, made our handle right here. And the way that I like to chart a cup and handle, okay, is you want to have this channel here. All right. You want to have your base support levels where, hey, we can't go below these levels or it's no longer a cup and handle, right? Then it's, more of a head and shoulders, or it's forming an M pattern, or, it's going back lower. But if we hold support at 432 and 505, those are the main levels to hold support at for this cup and handle. So if we pull back and we're trading in this, red channel right here, and as long as we're holding support at these two levels, eventually when we break out from this red trend line here, that will be our move for our cup and handle. All right, and the cup and handle, the projected move for the cup and handle is going to be here. All right, it's going to be from your lows up to your base of your cup, right? And then you'll duplicate this drawing and you'll put it on your base support level. All right, and you pull that up and it takes you right up to about $7, $7.15 at, maybe the most. All right, now that's our cup and handle formation. The inverse head and shoulders looks really good here too. Okay, so we have two bullish formations, right? We have the cup and handle I showed you guys. We went briefly into the inverse head and shoulders earlier today, or right now we're going to dive into a little bit more. Here's our head, here's our left shoulder, here's our right shoulder. All right. And we could still pull back into this area and that's fine. But here's our inverse head and shoulders here. This is our neckline, our blue line right here. All right. And we broke out. We had our breakout because this is our breakout level. So we broke out. All right. We hit that bearish divergence. We came back down and we're holding it as support. So, on Monday, if we open up and we're holding this level here right above 565, and we're still holding that as support, and we break out past this red line right here, I think that is going to be our inverse head and shoulders, playing out. Okay. And if we get the breakout from there, that target is going to put us up to right around $7, which is very similar to the cup and handle price target that we had up here in between like 7 and 7.15. So, I'm looking to see in short term, are we going to, in the, kind of immediately on Monday, are we going to hold this level as support and break out and continue the rally? And we know that the gap fill ends at 625. So, we have the gap up on the daily chart to help us out. We have a 4-hour inverse head and shoulders. If that inverse head and shoulders is invalidated and we come and we break support down at this 505, we have 432 here as an area to catch support at and look for a possible re-entry to see if we're going to get the cup and handle. All right. So we have inverse head and shoulders, more short, immediate term, right? On a little bit of the longer term, we have the 4-hour cup and handle. All right, setting up. And then on the daily chart, we have the daily gap up. And we'll go ahead and pull the daily chart back up, and you guys can see that. Okay, so here's the daily chart gap to 625. You know, and again, we had the inverse head and shoulder, and we have the cup and handle. All right, so thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below what stocks you guys want me to analyze. I'll be happy to do that for you as soon as I can. And if you need some help with a couple of tutorials, I have some right here that I think will help you out if you are a beginner to charting. Definitely if you're a beginner, you know, there's some RSI divergence training tutorials. I have some support and resistance, some supply and demand stuff in there. All of those are going to be really key and helpful to you, especially if you're a beginner.